Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do scientific notation in your calculator if you have the TI36X Pro. So first off, if we were solving this problem as we did in the last video, which we did, we'd multiply 3.2 by 6.1, which you could actually see I had already done because I used the calculator last time. We get our 19.52, and then we would add our exponents since we're multiplying, so 20 plus a negative 15, we've got a 10 to the 5. Right, and then this is the one where we realized something was off. So we have lots of different ways we could handle this. If I want to, I could type this into my calculator, times 10 to the 5th. It'll give me out what that is, and I could convert it back. You also have a mode in your calculator for scientific. So if you choose that, anything you enter will come out in scientific notation. But that's super annoying because then if you do like 2 times 3 later on, it's going to give you scientific notation still. So that might not be a setting that you want to put your calculator in if you're not using scientific notation the entire test. But then the easiest way to do this is to use, there's an actual button in your calculator for scientific notation. I mentioned this very briefly in class. This EE is scientific notation. So what you're going to do in your calculator, I wrote on it, is you're going to type in the number, and then you're going to type the EE button, which will only have one E show up, and then you're going to type the exponent. So remember, this is our general form for scientific notation. So the number in front, and then the exponent with that EE button in between. So the first term here, or first factor here, is going to be 3.2. Then we're going to put in the EE button, which will just translate to one little e, and then we'll type in 20. The nice thing about this is it connects everything together. It knows that this is one number. If you use the times symbol, you can actually get into some trouble. So I'll show you that example next. So 3.2 little e 20 times 6, and I could have used parentheses. I didn't do parentheses in the first one, so it became a little late to do it, and then to the negative 15. And annoyingly, since this is small enough for it to display, it actually displayed it. So I'd sit there and go, okay, how many decimals? We have something big. So I know I need a positive, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So we got our answer. Now the next question we did in the last video was this division problem. This is where if you use the times symbol in your calculator, you get in trouble. So in the last video, we realized we need to do 6.1 divided by 3.2. I rounded that to 1.91. because the 6 is here, we'd round up the number in front of it. And then 20 minus a negative 15, well, that's 35. Right, so now we're done. This is the answer. Now, if we try to do this in our calculator all at once, oops, we can do that. What it would look like is this. If we did it without the actual E button, something like this, divided by 3.2, 10, and actually there is a button in the TI, I think it's the 30, maybe, I don't remember which one that is. It looks kind of like this, but it's white and like a bluer color. That one is even worse because it actually has a times 10 to the button, but it actually acts just like this, so you can get in trouble with it. So look, this is not 10 to the 35. 10 to the 35 would have an absolute crap ton of zeros. So what happened with what I just did is that it went and only divided by the 3.2, and then it multiplied by this value. So the 20 and the 15 got added to have just a 10 to the 5th power. We just have 5 bunny hops after the decimal would be. So this is a problem. But if you use the little EE button, which is why I'm promoting that, it knows those pieces are tied together, and you don't have to put parentheses because it knows that this is one number and this is one number. So if I use the EE button, it gives me out the correct answer, 1.906 times 10 to the 35. So just wanted to give you a quick heads up on using that little EE button. This EE, you want that capital E, is different than the lowercase e that you'll find elsewhere on your calculator. So if you use this button, you've done something wrong. Use the capital E instead. All right?